Welcome to the stream show with Strick and Brant. We're doing our 5-minute countdown, and it's a different night. I'm driving tonight. Strick is actually on the call, but he is helping his wife do a live stream as well. So there might be a few little hiccups here and there. But different night. I'm driving tonight. Strick is actually on the call, but he is helping his wife. I see some people in the chat already. I'm not seeing the chats come up in my comments, but I see we have James Hicks is in the building. Thank you for joining us tonight. Like I said, I'm driving tonight, so if there's some errors, it's my fault. We got some changes. Strick is usually the one doing the show, but I'm doing the show tonight. He's on the call, like I said. And we're going to help you guys succeed. We got Kevin Kolbe and Derrick Floyd, both great content creators. Kevin Kolbe has a huge following. He's been producing for a long time. Like myself, he came from broadcast television. I think he's won a few Emmys, I think. And then we got Derrick Floyd, who I was with IK Multimedia, and he was showing us some things just before we got started that look really, really cool. There we are. So we got Derrick waiting in the building. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody for joining us tonight. And let's see if I can see everybody here. I really need a second monitor when you do this. Like I said, we're doing our 3-minute count. We're 3 minutes out. We're just doing our countdown. Let everybody join us from the East Coast to the West Coast. We've had people from London. We've had people from Singapore. So can everybody get a chance to kind of come in, and we'll be doing good. And just my own personal thing I'd like to say here, I'll get on my high horse for the next 3 minutes, and I just want to put a shout out to Ukraine and all the people of Ukraine fighting the good fight. So I'm just really excited to see that I'm a little obsessed with with watching too much news and too much TikTok out of Ukraine. And, I'm a Gen Xer. I grew up during Red Dawn, and, everything was Russia was going to attack us any day now. So I'm kind of vested in this. So I'm really, really watching the news too much probably. So, but, looks like the Ukrainians are putting up a good fight, and I just hope that we can support them as much as we can. And one thing I did find out that there's a lot of technical companies that are from Ubisoft to Restream to there was a seed company that we buy seeds from our garden that all have ties to Ukraine, and they're all, diverting money to Ukraine. They're helping people out. I saw where Ubisoft is actually paying salaries ahead of time so that they could have cash to move around or to get out. I talked to a friend of mine. He is in the electrical engineer. He does some big space type stuff, and he said like a lot of his remote workers are from Ukraine. So you don't think about that, but there's a lot of programmers, a lot of coders, a lot of network stuff, a lot of the things that we're using day in and day out that is made or maintained in Ukraine. So that's a very big deal. Hey, we got Rabbi David is in here. Hey, Rabbi David, Mr. Rally West Side. Thank you guys. Mr. Hicks, of course, is in the building. So thank you guys very much for joining us tonight. And there's Sammy Superstar. How are you doing, Sammy? I think you'd like over this shoulder. See the old Mac I got there? No, Sammy likes his old Macs. How are you doing, Sammy? I appreciate everybody for joining. And we have Steve Worthy. What's good? What's good, Mr. Worthy? So we're here. We're ready to go. We're about a minute out. We're going to have a great show tonight. We're going to talk about some really cool things. We got Alex. I can see him coming in from Facebook. Thank you, Alex, for joining us here today. That is awesome. And that's funny. I just saw something pop up. It was the Restream bot. So we won't say hi to the Restream bot. All right. So like I said, all the thoughts and prayers, and, I was in the military, so I have a lot of strong feelings about what's going on in Ukraine. So here's to the Ukraine people. Let's get some. Hey, Kevin Cox is in the building. How are you doing, sir? Thank you again for joining us. And good show. We got a lot of people showed up, so thank you guys. I know you could do anything on a Sunday night, and I just really appreciate you hanging out with me. So we're going to count down here. It's funny, I don't have Strick to talk to, so hopefully I won't miss the countdown, because this will automatically go into our open. And then we will get straight into the stream show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Are you there, Strick? Hey, he's made it. Oh, you're on mute.
I am here. Yes, sir. You got me.
I got you. What's up, man? You're dropping
Hey,
in.
man, I'm
Yeah.
great. How are you doing?
Good, good. You're dropping in and out a little bit. So,
Am I dropping in and out?
yeah, I don't know.
Well, of course, you know I'm on my phone right now.
Yeah.
So for everybody that's trying to be live or go live on your phone, this is the issue you can have. I'm actually coming in from the headphone mic on these Shure
Yeah, you're just a little out of
earphones.
sync,
So
but you
that's
look
what you're
great.
hearing right now.
You look great. We can hear you. Just a little out of sync, so we'll just deal with that. So, I think, yep. Alex said, I think he's got a big delay. I think you're right, Alex, and he's streaming from his phone because his wife's actually streaming right now. What's your wife streaming for? Is she's doing an interview or a concert or something, right?
So she's doing a virtual concert tonight, and I get to be the producer, the sound guy, the manager, and wait, I know what I'm doing. Hold on, I'm gonna get there, guy.
All right, that is awesome. Oh, and I saw Alex just popped in. He's coming seeing us from LinkedIn, so I'm glad to see some people coming in from LinkedIn. That's awesome. Um, I'm big on LinkedIn.
That's cool. Is that your LinkedIn page, or did it go to mine
Yours
this time?
looks like it went to yours because I didn't have.
I'm not sure.
I'm going through your Restream account, so I couldn't add any more accounts. So I'll just share it up tomorrow. One of the things I'm kind of upset with LinkedIn
We're
is
live on Restream. Well, I want to say hello to everybody on
all right,
Restream.
yeah,
LinkedIn, that is.
yeah. Hello to everybody on LinkedIn. So I tell you what, let's just get right into the show. I'm gonna bring in our guests. We've got Kevin Kolbe,
Let's bring the
Derrick
boys
Floyd.
on.
What's up,
The
guys?
boys club today.
How's it going?
What's good? What's good, fellas? Happy
I'm
Sunday.
excited to be here. Yeah.
Happy
Excited.
Sunday.
Yeah. It's Sunday night.
Hey,
We do
Strick,
appreciate it.
you guys are the only people I will spend time with on a Sunday other than my wife and church. That's it, homies. Sunday is like God and wife day and
Thank
family
you.
day. I'm like, I can't let my boys down again. I
Thank
can't do
you.
it.
Thank you.
So we are here live in the building on a Sunday. There you go.
There you go. You ain't
Well,
gonna do
thank you
nothing
so
else.
very much to you and Kevin, for spending time with us. I mean, being on the stream show um, with you guys is important for us because even the title, we're talking about content creators,
Mhm.
especially in the time that we're in right now. Brant and I talk all the time. Even we're not even finished with the first quarter of this year, and things have changed in January
Oh,
and February. We're doing all of us are doing things just a little bit different.
yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But to
Yeah.
me, I mean, that's what makes it fun too. I mean,
Mhm.
I like some consistency, but I also get bored easily if it's all the same and
Yeah.
everything's the same. And, there's new platforms, new ways to do the platform and new tools coming out. And it's never been a boring time to be a content creator. I don't think.
I think
For
every.
sure. I agree.
How about you, Derrick? I know you even
I
also
completely agree, man. And
working for
there's so
IK.
much happening. And as the rules change and different platforms open up to do different ways of delivering content, it allows you to take your existing content and repurpose it again. Because as we all know, content creators, we all know content lives forever. And you can
Yep.
slice it, dice it, and do so much with it. Once you've got a piece of content, you can go on and on. So it's just really unique how
Yep.
we can really maneuver that and see it go forward on and on.
I think what's interesting is when everybody starts competing with each other. That's they all start adding the same functions, whether it's shorts competing with TikTok or you
Right.
know
Right.
what was with one stream is going to do something about groups. LinkedIn's doing audio rooms like
Yeah.
Clubhouse. I've done some of those. Um, some
Facebook
people.
has added reels.
There you go. So I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
what? So let's just start this question right now, and let's start with Kevin. Kevin, what are some of the new things you are doing and trying, and what are you having success with?
Well, success could be relative, right? So I'm probably going harder in on vertical than I have been. I did a video the other day, and I subtitled myself "A Landscape Dude Living in a Vertical World." Um, I'm not a vertical fan, but at the same time, I'm not a doofus that when people like vertical and they, they're holding their phone that way to look more at it. So what I've been playing with more is rather than try and creating for a specific, like I don't use the YouTube Shorts app. I don't use TikTok, and we can talk about TikTok if you want to. And, I actually created vertical once and then I repurpose it other places, which saves a lot of time. So, it's funny, but I'm trying to figure out TikTok. I've gone from I just couldn't stand it to I'm tolerating it. But recently I had a friend say, dude, you need to try Pinterest. And I had a Pinterest account for a while and did nothing with it. And so I've uploaded some verticals there and it's insane.
Really?
The views I've gotten. Yeah.
That's
I mean, more
good.
than
Love it.
anything.
That's a good tip.
And you
Everybody coming
get the
out
little
here.
heart, you get the little, repin, you get some comments like that. And the irony is, if somebody said, well, how many followers you have? I'm like, dude, I'm killing. I'm up to like 13.
There you go.
And,
Right.
of course, 10 of them are family, but that's different. But when you start looking at the views and the impressions, and they're coming off verticals, and then, it drives to the website and stuff like that. So that, I mean, it's just, it's not what I'm totally focusing on. I'm not spinning off my shorts to a different channel and things like that, but I'm mixing them in, and I want to actually play with kind of a style more on Instagram where it's just kind of a little bit more raw, vlogish, where
Right.
it's just me there and it's easy to do, and it does whatever.
How about you, Derrick? Same question. What, you using anything new?
Yeah, I think I'm following in Kevin's footsteps. Now you make me look bad, like I copied off Kevin. But no, seriously, I think the vertical situation. I don't create content to make it look vertical, but I use Final Cut and export it out vertically so that I can shoot it to multiple platforms. I find, like Kevin said, a lot of times people are looking from their phone. Now, me, I'm a definite horizontal guy. When I want to see a video, I instantly turn it and I want to see the whole thing. But so many people just turn it on and look for the quote, I say the TikTok style of video. So I thought, okay, I need to make sure my content is centered, number one. So when I export it out as vertical, you're getting that line of sight. But then make sure that it's simple to digest and easy to remember. Because to me, the short or the minute or the TikTok sensation is all real quick bites, only a minute and out.
Yeah.
You don't have a whole lot of time to grab them. So if you can grab somebody within a minute or two and bring them in, then you can lead them somewhere else and keep your content moving and keep them engaged with what you're doing on the next platform. So
how about you, Strick?
Hey,
I know. Go ahead. Go ahead, Kevin.
No.
Go ahead. No, go, Kevin.
Well, I was going to say, and this isn't really a platform thing, but one of the things I started doing, I guess later of last year and going in, is like I just started really questioning how much gear I've got and what am I using. And so there was a point last fall I sold like 8 lenses. And I remember asking the question on Twitter somewhere, can you have too many lenses? And people were like, no, buy more. And, but I thought, what am I using in the cameras? And so I actually had bought a Canon. I'm a Canon guy, but I bought an I bought the R and got it and didn't even open it and sent it back. And some lights and some different mics. Cause I thought, wait a minute. I do preach, use what you've got. Don't go in debt for gear, but there's times when you may want to, step up. And I thought, I can't be out there preaching that and me going, trying to buy the newest thing. And so I thought, how much do I need? And what do I really need it for? And so that was the other thing I've started doing too, is just like, what do I need to buy this for? What do I really need it for? It's definitely helping the checking account a little.
And Kevin, don't you think it's about the content, Kev? I mean,
absolutely.
People are flying on TikTok with millions of followers for some crappy video of them doing something in front of a car with their cell phone. It doesn't. No, you can't say it doesn't matter how it looks, but at the end of the day, the content has to be engaging. Period.
Yeah.
That's the winner.
I have this belief that creators, we're the only ones who really care about what kind of camera and mic and stuff like that we use.
It's so true.
Right.
I mean, I could be doing a show on gardening and there'll be 99 gardeners watching, but the one guy that does videos will go, hey, what kind of camera are you using? And it's like, we're talking about plants.
So true.
And so, but what happens though is like, we start, we start talking gear and stuff and there's nothing wrong with that. I love talking gear and gadgets, but I was talking to somebody the other day that I hopefully will be a client, and he looks at me and he goes, well, can't we just shoot this on an iPhone? And I thought, I love you, man. I want to hug you right now. But yeah, it's
You
like,
got it.
so yeah.
True. True.
You were going to say something, Strick. Go
Let
ahead.
me say this real quick. Yeah, if you don't mind, I definitely got to shout out a couple people that are watching today. So Kevin Murray, a friend of mine here, thank you for chiming in with us today. James Hicks is still here. Felicia is still here. She says, hello, guys. Melvin Miller is still here hanging out with us. Want to shout you out. And it's important, guys, that and then Alex said something, it doesn't matter until it stops you from doing what you need to do. That's when gear. I appreciate that statement, guys, right?
Yeah.
Gear doesn't matter until it stops you. So I'm creating content with all of you with I don't know how much a delay I have.
No, you're good now. There's no delay.
On Wi-Fi, no delay now. So
nope, you're good.
My cell phone with Shure headphones that is Bluetooth to the phone, and I'm using the microphone that's on these headphones right now to get my audio to you.
It sounds great.
I think it breaks down everything that we talk about to people. If you have a cell phone, I've been talking about this for a while. Kevin, I know you say the same thing. Brant and I is on the same wavelength, and Derrick, I'm sure you would say this to people as well. Mm-hmm. Think about 10 years ago, we were telling people that your cell phone has more technology in it than what they sent to the moon. Now, this was a statement 10 years ago.
Yeah.
We can't fathom the amount of technology that they have in the iPhones. And if you talk to an Android user, that technology is even better than the iPhone technology, right? They'll tell you they have better features and functions and apps and all that kind of stuff, right?
Well, that's what they say.
So,
we don't have
that's what they say, of course. That being said,
oh, go ahead.
That being said, I have started doing some short form content. And Kevin, I watch your stuff. Kevin, I absolutely love it. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, man.
I'm one of those people in the background. I try to comment as much as I can, but I love the fact that now, because I've caught myself doing it, and I'm getting on Pinterest as well, but on TikTok, I'm just swiping. 15 seconds, 30 seconds, no more than 3 minutes. The short form content is taking over.
Yeah.
And it's what we all say that we have a little level of ADHD, right? Mm-hmm. And it goes.
Oh, I've got a lot. No, I've got a lot.
Right? It goes right to that. Hey, I need something quick, and then I need for it to change. Okay, it's changed. Okay, change. Okay, change. Oh, I definitely don't need to see that. Let me make sure I don't look at that again, and then it changed. It changed. You know, that's the world that we're in, even with our children. You know, so I've had success. Same reel, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Facebook has picked up my reels, and I'm starting to get a lot of tractions. One of them, even overnight, was apparently picked up for suggestions, and it's over 4,000 views.
Good for you, man.
On a reel,
there it is.
15-second reel, and it wasn't my best work. All right, I wasn't talking on it. It was a song and basically clips throughout the city of Birmingham that I put together, maybe 30 seconds, and that's what's going right now. Last I checked, it was 4.6K.
My best performance.
I know that's small potatoes, but that's a beginning.
I've been really doubling down into shorts because I can't keep up with them all. So I figured I want my YouTube channel to grow, so I'm going to do shorts. I've done my biggest short is the one I did in Canva with stock video and some animated text to ask people to subscribe. So I had 2,000 views on that one. And then most of my 15 seconds are getting anywhere from 1.7 to 1.8. And I think I kind of figured it out. I mean, what I'm doing is if you're not familiar with shorts on YouTube, if it can be as long as a minute, but if you keep it to 15 seconds, then you can use popular music just like you would on TikTok. So during the Super Bowl, I did something about the stream show with Strick and Brant, talked about the old G's like us, and I used Snoop Dogg's music because that was what was trending, and that got like
That's brilliant.
You look, and it's the bad part is I look at it, it's like 4 views. Oh, this is terrible, But then I wake up the next morning, it's 1.3K, So, but they don't ever grow after that. But the one thing about shorts you have to realize too is shorts does not count for your viewership hours. But I kind of just approach it as I think I did that one 15-second video got me 6 subscribers. So I think the investment's pretty good for a short 15-second. And so I try to think it just like we did in shorts. TV, Kolbe, is just like these are promos. Yep. These are just 15-second commercial reels, promos, trying to point people to your main channel.
And I think what you guys are explaining for sure, especially about shorts and all the different platforms, is that you have to make sure your message matches the platform that you're on.
Right.
My segments tend to be a little bit longer, maybe 2 minutes when I do my little motivation videos, or if I'm doing an interview. Those are, of course, 45 minutes to an hour. So that's not going to land on a short form video, but I can cut snippets of that and use it in short form.
Absolutely.
So it depends on what your message and what your purpose is for your content. So don't just jump on some platform to get views if it doesn't really have a purpose to what you're leaning it towards. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
that's a lot of time.
Great statement. And I'm going to do this, Kevin, just to kind of show people how to do it. And I'm sure you can be right behind me because I know you are a one take kind of guy. So if I'm doing something and I want to promote today, which I have promoted today's show. Hey guys, this is DJ Strick, co-host of the Stream Show. Guess what? Tonight I have Kevin Kolbe, Derrick, Floyd, and my guy Brant Collins, and we're talking about how short form content can help you get more subscribers. Check us out tonight. If I do that and I put flashes in the beginning, a swirl in the middle, and music underneath that, I have my short form content that's leading out there, and it's someone swiping. They see DJ Strick. They see that I have something coming up that's pointing them in a direction in the description, and that's our short form content. Now, that's just one style of it, because I do think if you want to build, I can take several pictures that I've taken in a day, put them in a reel, put music behind it, and that will go just as well with a description. Or if you are, for me, I started hashtagging the stream show, hashtag content creator, hashtag content creator tips, and it's just in those reels that people can find. Kevin, am I right about that?
I mean, I think so. I mean, the funny thing is, and I've heard people say this, and I've done this too, sometimes the videos I've put the least amount of time in do the best. And sometimes the ones that, man, I've really worked on, this is going to be an epic. And it's just like, nobody cares. And, I mean, that's one of the things I love about live streaming too, is that, it's real. I mean, it is absolutely real and in the moment, and it just, but I think there's something to be said too about just, it's like what you just did a second ago is phenomenal. And I am so guilty and still a victim of, overthinking and overproducing it. And, we all know Sean Cannell, he's a friend of mine and mentor. And he is like, he's preached it, stop overthinking it, stop overproducing it. And it's right. And, the worst thing that's going to happen is nobody watches it maybe. Okay. I mean, that's literally the worst thing that's going to happen. And, you put it out there and maybe don't even worry about the views, and you keep putting it out there and you keep trying it and stuff like that. And don't worry about it. I mean, I've done videos where I'm like, I'm just not even going to worry about editing on this. It's
the hard part.
It doesn't matter.
The hard part for Kevin, the hard part for you and me though, is we did 20 plus years in broadcast television, and it was drummed into us like, it's got, when there wasn't vertical for sure, but
Oh,
even when you started to get phone video, I can remember being on people would submit stuff or even to the news or going live. Like,
yeah.
oh, it's vertical. We can't use it. Now I'm watching verticals. I'm watching more TikTok out of Ukraine than I am watching CNN. So,
Yeah.
live and in the moment, the news as it happens. Who
Yeah.
cares if it's 16:9 or vertical or a phone versus I have to watch. I think Strick and I talk about this a lot. We want to help CEOs and other people succeed because there's a lot of people that are on CNN from their bedroom or their living room that are getting paid to do this on a.
I was gonna say that.
Just turn
I was
your
like,
lights
Brant,
on,
I'll
bro.
watch a news channel sometime,
Yeah.
and I'll watch an interview with like a anchor, but then they're going into somebody's house
Right.
or some
Yeah.
star, and they're just on their phone, and we're
Right.
watching
Yeah.
somebody without a bunch of equipment on
Right.
national television
Right.
in a
right.
broadcast setting with their phone, and
Yep.
that's how we're getting.
It
Yeah.
happens
So it's
all the
not
time
like
now.
you have to have a setup to get on television and do what you do. It's pretty incredible. Pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Back to your technology thing, I had to step away and go get this. This was my first paid HD gig was on this Canon, little Canon,
look at
because it was
that.
the first HD camera you
Wow.
could get for I had to shoot the next day. Went to Best Buy, bought it. It was on tape. I actually did for a boat company. I just went out on a boat with a glide cam. That was that was a weighted balancing act kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I did a boat video. It was awesome, but that actually in this same camera, they laughed at me, but I showed up to a CNN satellite truck to do an interview from the Clinton Library. It was a morning shot, like 3 a.m. for CNN or
Wow.
somebody. And I had all the outputs and it's an HD and they took it. So
Yep.
it was
There it is.
harder back then. They didn't really want to take it.
But don't you have to return that back to the Smithsonian as soon as
Yes,
this
it's
is over?
back there. It's back there with the Mac. It leaves back there with the Mac. And
Hey, Brant.
if you look back there, you can't see it. I have a DJI Ronin that I've used once. Talk about technology. Had to have the Ronin, and I can't stand using it because it takes 450 hours to set it up or to practice with it.
Yeah.
If you're making a music video, and that's one thing from a production person. If you're doing a music video or a movie is totally different from what just a content creator. So some of these things, they're more trouble than they're worth.
Brant,
I've
you
sold
talk about
more gimbals than
technology,
I've
Brant.
used.
Yeah.
And I was going to bring up this.
Oh,
we
go
talked about
ahead,
this
yeah.
When the show started. Technology's come so far that almost everything we use now is pocket size. You can take it and get 24-bit 96K quality on anything you own. Now, obviously, I work for Ecamm Multimedia. I'm also a content creator, but we use some great stuff that just gets the job done. This is called an iRig Stream Pro. And for all the content creators that don't have a gazillion dollars to go buy a bunch of equipment, this is $199. It's a 4-input device that you can plug in an XLR or quarter-inch or left and right RCA, and your friggin' your earbuds, because those earbuds have the microphone. You can plug that in and mix all 4 sources on one space, and this thing will plug into anything you own: your iPhone, your iPad, your Mac, your PC, your Android, all of it in one box for $200. This didn't exist years ago. So you don't have to go spend $1 billion to get the best technology that's going to get you everything you need. Something small like this will get it done pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I think the other thing you mentioned.
Way to plug IK Multimedia.
Oh, by the way,
don't act up in here. This really is a cool box, man. I just think it's amazing.
Exactly.
I take it wherever I go. I'm like, this is just awesome for me, because I'm a catch it where I'm at kind of guy. So I need to get the only content that's the best is the content that you catch. True.
Okay.
If you miss it, it's gone.
If you miss it ain't content. Yeah.
It ain't content. You got to catch it where you are. So this kind of stuff helps me catch it wherever I land.
Yeah.
Well, Felicia says it really seems like that's something great for beginners as they're traveling studio. That's what's up, Felicia.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Felicia.
What's the device again? Say it one more time.
What is it, Derrick? Say it one more time.
What's that device again, Derrick?
It's the iRig Stream Pro, Pro.
iRig Stream Pro.
Yep.
Now think about that too. A lot of people were coming out of the pandemic. You've probably been doing a lot of this. Before the pandemic, I was doing this to try to get to some of these VidCons and how could I do interviews from the ground. And, an iPhone, I've tried everything to be vlogging, and I think the iPhone and the Shure MV88 kit that I have is the best I've ever found. But, you know, now you have to rethink, right? We've all built these studios for our homes. And now one thing that I am finding, if you watch my personal channel, I had my wife on, we talked about an hour and a half about commercial production because she does it for a living. And people are now have all this gear and they're trying to get hot. You know, people are asking them to do things outside of their studio. You know, that's when you may need extra gear. That's when you show up and they need 3 microphones and you only have 1. You know, that's where you need 2 cameras, mobile lights. You know, so if you're starting to jump into that, you know, hire yourself out as a producer or a production person, not just the content creator, you know, that's when you start really you might need some gear.
True.
Hey, let's do this.
Go ahead.
We're right in the middle of the show today. And for people that are coming on, you may see me a little different today. I'm actually on my iPhone and using my headphone and Bluetooth to come to you guys today. My wife is actually setting up my whole studio. It's hers tonight because she's performing a stream show or what is it? They're doing Zoom concert, so a virtual concert tonight.
Cool.
So I had to give her my space, but I could not come on tonight and hang out with the guys for our roundtable. And we'll follow each other. We know each other really well, really respect the content creation that we all do. And we've talked about how things have changed, and we're not even finished with first quarter of 2022. But I know that Brent and I, we always talk about some of the new technology that's out there. Kevin, I know you have some new stuff that you're using. I would love to hear from you, Derrick. What may be a app, some software product that you're using right now that maybe you didn't use last year that you really like and would like other people to know about it?
The first one I'll dive into is something called Pro Camera. It's an app on your phone that takes those killer lenses that Apple's been talking about for the last year or so, these amazing lenses, and turns this into a DSLR. You can adjust everything. Everything you do with DSLR with your aperture, your frame rate, all that can be done in this app. So you launch the app and it takes this and really gives you complete flexibility. So I use my phone as a second camera on a lot of my shots, and it just makes it seamless. I mean, it's a no-brainer at that point. So that would be the first tool I use for sure a lot, is using Pro Camera. The other tool I would say was if I'm plugging right into my camera and I'm taking it out somewhere and I need to be able to just throw a line in, or if I got to interview somebody and I just need an XLR connection. I may not use a Stream Pro, but there's a simple small device called iRig Pre, and Pre stands for preamp. It's just a preamp. It's an XLR connection. You can plug in whatever microphone you got while you're out, and it goes right into my DSLR, and I can capture whatever sound I need when I'm recording on the go. So those 2 pieces have been monumental for me this year, just being able to get moving and get going wherever I'm at and record some different content. So
I love it. How about you, Kevin?
Well, you know, from probably a gear thing, the Rode Wireless Go 2. So I had the original, and then I got the one that came with the 2 transmitters and the 1 receiver. And I will say, and I've even used it here in my home studio, but generally if I'm out, clients or just doing whatever, and I just don't want to mount something on the camera, I use that probably 90% of the time.
wow.
And especially once they did with the newer one where you could actually record into the transmitter. So you didn't even have to have the receiver plugged into anything. And so then you've got a safety track if you want it. And if people don't know what that means, it just means like if I'm recording into the camera, I've also got one on the microphone. So if something hiccups somewhere, I've got a backup, which is important depending on what you're shooting. But I can also just pop it out, turn it on, and just start recording as a little field recorder. And, you know, it's the size of a $50. Now, I have ordered the new one from DJI. I ordered that in November, and it's been on back orders from whenever. I may be, you know, dead and gone by the time I get it. So we'll see. But I'm hoping we'll have that one. But I mean, that's just something that I've used a lot. But, you know, I use my iPhone a lot. It's nothing new about that. I did get the 13 Pro because I wanted the cinematic and mess with that. You know, that's probably from from a gear gadget thing. Well, I did do it. I actually take that back. I did get I think it's from you, Lansy. It's just an overhead rig. It wasn't very much money, but I use it for some client work where I do their online courses, and we do a lot of stuff from top down, but it's just easy to use. I even did a video on it, just how to set it up and stuff like that. And something like, I think it was like 150, maybe 170, but something like that I can use to do then top down shots, throw in a bag, and take with me. It sounds like a simple thing, but it's really nice to have if you want that type of shot. But yeah, probably just from more of a production standpoint, I would say the Rode. Now, and I just bought the new one the other day, and I haven't even had a chance to open it.
The Rode Wireless Go is amazing, and I ended up I haven't really used it yet. I mean, I've used the Wireless Go's a couple times. They're very forgiving, but I also bought the little adapter to turn it into a stick mic. I don't know if you've seen that, and so that way, if you're out doing you could wear the lapel and go to a trade show or out in the field and interview people and hold the mic. So I thought that was they really thought that one out. I thought that was really really good.
Yeah.
How about you, Strick? What's your
Kevin,
new?
are you using the lapel? I'm sorry,
I have.
Kevin, does he use a lapel with it?
I have some, depending on what I'm doing. So like one client could care less if it's in the shot, and because of what we shoot with her, she's not really in. I mean, her hands are more in it, so we just clip it. And then I've actually got a magnet that keeps it in place, because the one thing, they will flip sometimes if you're not careful. But I do have the lavs that I use with it sometimes.
Gotcha. So I'm not going to let Kevin get away without telling us some real secrets today, Brant. Because he just made a post the other day about a web page he's using. And I would love to get some more details. Are you ready to talk about that? Because I really would
I'll talk about anything you want. Yeah. And I don't. Maybe let me throw something out there that I think you guys know. A lot of people don't know. When I announced this last year, is that so I turned 60 last year.
No way.
Yes, sir.
No way.
Sir. You look good.
Was that applause or was that a hearse backing up? I couldn't tell.
So
I turned applause. And the funny thing is, I just never talked about age much, because to me it's not a big deal. But I even had friends go, "Oh man, you ain't 60. How old are you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm 60." And the reason I throw that out there is because I started cutting like tape, and now you're digital, and I still get excited by the technology. But I throw that out there to say, it doesn't matter what age you're at. It's not too late to start and figure it out as you go. And if you just something may frustrate you and you can't figure it out, but so anyway, I just throw that out there to that. So if anybody wants to support me when I'm in the home, that's fine. I'll have an address. So I found this really cool site called Podpage, and I think I found it through she's a friend of all of us, Eileen Smith, Miss Eileen, and I saw that she had her podcast on there. And Podpage is really meant to kind of give your podcast kind of like a really cool website. But I'm the way I'm wired, I just don't like it's like, well, what else could I do with it? And so what I figured out is I could bring my YouTube feed in, my podcast that I've just recently restarted new, and it has blogs and stuff like that. And so what I have, that's what you were talking about, right, Strick?
Yes, sir.
The Podpage. Yeah. So what I recently did is, almost everything I do is under Kevin Kolbe, but my kind of my business is Kevin Kolbe Media, and that's what my handle on some. So what I decided to do is make my Podpage kevinkolbemedia.com. And it basically is a home for my podcast, my YouTube videos, my blog when I want to write it. It has voice messages. It has a contact form. And what I love about it is it automatically brings in any new YouTube video and any new podcast episode, and I can then tweet it out and share it out from there. And it's just, I thought, word. I don't have to try and figure out how to insert it over here or insert it over there. And it's just, there's a lot of things out there that promise, I can do this and this and this. And, now I will say, if you do not have a podcast, then it's not a site for you. But if you have a podcast, it's great. If you have a podcast and a YouTube channel like we all do, and you even want to blog, you don't have to turn the blog on. I found it's amazing. It's, and you can't customize it as much as Squarespace, but I customized it enough that I was okay with it, at least for the moment.
No. It was great, Kevin. It was great. I went to the
I
site,
appreciate that.
checked it out. His buy me a coffee widget was on one side, and on the other side he had something else, his YouTube channel. Everything was in one place, and I really do see how you could use that as a one-pager to send really quick. And if you have blogs, of course, you could take, there you go, you take the blogs and share the blogs from there, and it sends everybody back to that one site. Very cool idea, but more importantly, I appreciate you sharing that with everybody, because it's important for us as content creators to kind of help people along the way. Hey, these are some of the things that we're doing that you may be able to get some use out of as well.
I am all about easy. I'm all about easy, and if I can find something like this that is affordable and just kind of works. And the other thing too is, so far the support has been amazing. I mean, I message them and they come back and they help me out, or they say, oh, we can't do this, but we can do this. So it's nice.
I love that.
I just gotta say, yeah.
I love it. And you glanced over something, and Strick, you did too, but every streamer doesn't know about Buy Me a Coffee, or that's a whole other layer of how to monetize your content and how to bring people to your space and ask them to support. I think we lose the fact that we're all chasing like the X amount of hours for YouTube or chasing this space, but there are multiple ways that not young, scratch that out because none of us are young, but beginning content creators can start to build a revenue source just by adding in something like Build Me a Coffee. You know what I mean? Who's had success with it so far?
I had somebody just.
That's a good question. Go ahead, Kim.
No, I was just going to say, just somebody the other day, and I think this just goes to being, if you're about community and you want to help people, and all you guys do, I mean, holy cow, I want to be like all you guys when I grow up. But there was some lady that commented on one of my videos, and she asked a question and I answered back, and she asked something else and I answered back, and the next thing I know, she's bought me a coffee and just said, I really appreciate you helping me.
Nice.
And
awesome.
I didn't do it for that. It was nice. So yeah, I mean, I've had some people like that where I've just kind of, let me help you out. We can talk for a bit, and then they'll do it. And it's nice, I mean, I'm not making a living on it, but it's nice to have. And you're right. And it's free to set up. Yeah. A lot of stuff like that. It's great for creators.
Yeah. Richard asked, what is that site again?
What was that again?
Podpage.
Podpage.com is the name of it. Yeah.
I was doing a Strick thing earlier. Sorry about that, guys. I was using the preview program preview program to move stuff around, so you saw me surfing there real quick. So I'm just going to show real quick. I love what he's got. I'll also try to show I'm a little different. I build my own sites with WordPress, and I actually have the kind of the same functionality, is that if I have everything pulls in automatically, all the stream show stuff.
Look at DJ Strick looking all sexy on the front. Look at that.
All my YouTube channels. There's my beer channel.
Very nice.
The blog. I have like all my old, like a portfolio and stuff there. But I took it a step further, is I actually found a plugin. I can actually do a buy me a coffee or buy me a beer, so I don't have to go through anybody. So if
that's
I'm
very nice. Yeah.
into WordPress or anything else like that, I was just trying to find a way to get away from everybody that nobody could take me down, or nobody could change that if I didn't want it to. So
I want to say this.
Go ahead.
Brant is actually showing you guys some of the things that can be done that he's able to do. And Derrick made the mention, and Kevin asked the question of who's using this or Derrick asked the question of who's using it, who's had success with it. Success is relative to the time and energy that you put into it. And what's
Yes.
happening is we have YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I mean, you gotta put something on Pinterest. I think it's a
Now, we're all
hot
getting
place
Pinterest now.
to get some SEO stuff at. I think people need to add that,
Yep.
and I appreciate Kevin saying that today. But then you have Buy Me a Coffee, your web page, your personal page, and all these other things that you could do. And I think if you are beginning, if you're beginning to be a content creator and you want to build a platform and community, be okay with having 1, 2, 3, or 4 people in your group. I would say
Yes.
take the time to start something that's not connected with any of those other things to your web page in your own membership group that you can monetize. Because Buy Me a Coffee, they stopped doing the PayPal deal.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's harder for me. I got to get Stripe and all this other stuff. It really put a sour taste in my mouth of using Buy Me a Coffee, because then it didn't make it so easy for me
Yeah.
to collect the money.
True.
Now, I
Yeah.
could get Stripe. It's not a big deal. But I'm just saying, personally, that's something else I have to do to now start another account when I already got 6 accounts. So I'm saying that to help people, and you guys can help me with that. Be okay with starting a membership or having a collection community of people, and it's 3, 4, 5, because you can't get to 10 if you don't have 5. You can't get
That's so
to
good.
100
That's so
if you
good.
don't have
That's so
10
good.
or 20.
Yeah.
Be okay with,
Yep.
you know what? If you listen to everyone that's leading in the YouTube space that we highly regard for their success of 100,000 subscribers, they had 100 subscribers at one time. They were running
Absolutely.
for 2
Yeah.
years and didn't
Yep.
hit 1,000 within 2 years. So
Yeah.
why would you turn on your YouTube channel and expect all of
Yeah.
these people to think you're Will Smith, or
Yeah.
making
DJ
good as
Strick.
somebody, or DJ Strick? Come on, why would you think you're DJ Strick?
Let me tell you one thing. I'm gonna add to this real quick, because I do believe that I get a little obsessed with the numbers and I get a little frustrated. Because
It's easy to. It's
and
easy to.
I'm also at the same time trying to lose weight, so it's kind of the same thing for me, right? So if I look at the numbers every day, I get obsessed. Yeah, I lost 10 pounds. I'm happy. I'm stuck there. Been stuck there for a month, but I just got to keep doing the work. And then I notice things like my clothes fit different, right? Or I'm feeling better. I picked something up and it was easier. It didn't necessarily show on the scale. It doesn't necessarily show, that analytic doesn't show that I'm doing right, but everything else is pointing to it. Now, if you translate that to the video stuff, I told Strick the other day, every show I've ever made, even the Beer Utopia show I made in 2006, everything led to another job. So people said, I like your YouTube show. I don't get it. I mean, I don't really like it for me, but could you do that for me? So I ended up turning that into an agency. The stream show, I ended up getting my job currently as a content creator for the library, because I did my Zoom interview right here on this set, and now I'm, and I walked into that job the first day and did an Ecamm live with my executive director, so all the practice and all
That's
these
gold.
things that we're going through, it's always led to that next job for me. And so don't get frustrated that you're not growing and you're not becoming a Sean Cannell or somebody overnight, but you're actually learning and you're growing and you have stuff to point people to say, look, I'm doing it, because a lot of people just talk, you're actually doing it.
Let me throw one more thing on the end of
Kevin,
that,
what
Brent.
city are you out of?
Me?
Go ahead, Derrick.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I
Derek.
was
I
gonna
was going to
say,
ask a question, but I want
I
Derrick
heard-
to make his statement.
Yeah, I read something and I completely believe it, and it ties in with Brent and Strick are saying it's better to have 100 real followers, subscribers, than 1,000 subscribers that aren't active.
Right.
You want to build your tribe, and if you have 10 people that's part of your tribe, it's worth way more to you in the long term than 1,000 subscribers that don't come on the channel, that don't engage, that don't spend time with you. build your tribe and build it slow. Because once they're your tribe forever, as long as you continue to engage with the content. So don't worry about it being 100 people for 2 years. If those 100 people keep coming back, then you've done your job and your content is winning. Am I saying that right, guys?
Yep.
You're right. You're right.
I want to answer.
If you don't show up, they're not going to show up.
Let me answer a question real quick before I forget here. We got Melvin asked me if I could stream to my own channel. I could. It is technically possible and not that hard to do. You just have to pay for it. So, if I went to Vimeo and I paid, $150 a month, I could do whatever I wanted, right? And there's tons of other CDNs out there that you could do it with, but realize that once you go, to stream it on your own, you're going to have to pay for the streaming hours, and you're also not going to get any discovery, right? Unless you have a huge website. He was going to find my little website by itself. That's why I use YouTube, because it's free and it's the second largest search engine in the world. So there's that.
There you go.
There you go.
And you can always embed the player, the YouTube, to your website. And there's a company that I'm working with called OneStream that now has a site that you can embed and go directly to your web page with as well. We talked about some technology people are using. I am an AppSumo guy, and man, they get a lot of my money. They really do.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna give Strick props here. I was gonna do Calendly, and I didn't want to pay the monthly fee, so he talked me into getting TidyCal.
I do TidyCal,
and I had in the last 3 weeks, people keep calling me, like locally, people from my past, people from my network are like, "Can I pick your brain? Can I pick your brain?" And I don't have time to do it for free. And I put a number on my Calendly, or, my TidyCal. I said, I do what's called level up lunch. It's my lunch break during the day. If you want to level up, you can pick my brain. I'll tell you anything. I put a very, very aggressive number. The second day I posted it, I sent it to this gentleman that was asking, kept bugging me. He paid for my hour, and we're continuing down a road to do more. So
good for you.
It paid for itself in 1 hour. But also, what I want creators to know, and I've been doing this for a long time. I'm almost as old as Kevin, but I'm not that old yet. But I've been doing it for a long time.
I'll wait for you.
You'll wait for you. You just put it on pause. Let me catch up. One of the things that I feel like I do, and I think that's one thing that Strick and I help each other do, we're like workout partners, is everybody has a little bit of imposter syndrome. Like, I'm not smart enough. What do I know? That and Strick's like, oh, you know all this. And then I'm telling Strick, oh, that's why are you doing this? You're so much better at that, So having some people around you to, to help you believe in yourself. So one of the things that I want people to understand that is you don't have a channel, but you have this desire to do it. Choose yourself, do it. There's nothing, you can make 100 videos and maybe nobody will see them. So you're not, messing up or feeling nervous or whatever. Just let that go. You're too old. You're too young. You don't know enough. Just have faith in yourself and go out and try. Right. And then, but also just be willing to learn and follow some people like Kevin and Derrick and, pivot, try new things. Don't jump off YouTube, go to Facebook only. Just start twisting around, testing things, and look at the analytics. The analytics have really helped me to see what's working, what's not working.
And I would also say give yourself grace. I mean, just because something doesn't work, and DJ, you said something earlier about success. I also think success is different for different people. It just is. How I framed success for myself and my family may be different than everybody else. And you know what? That's okay. I don't debate anybody on success. But if there's too many folks out there that want to beat you up and beat you down, and they just, I don't get it. They wake up every day just, mad at the world, and they just want to take it out on somebody. And a lot of times they got stuff going on in their life. If somebody, if they could just get some help, that might be better, but that's a different show. But it's,
it is.
if you don't give yourself grace, then you won't grow and you won't try different things. Not everything's going to work out. Right. Things are not going to work. But even if you fail at something, you are not a failure because of that.
That's so good.
And
Right.
you know, life is better with friends, with community, trying different things. And I just, you know, it's like, why not just get out there and go and try it? I mean, I did a video podcast with a buddy of mine, and before we started, and this guy had been in radio forever, and I mean, he had a following, but this was brand new for him. And he goes, "What if nobody listens? What if nobody
Right.
comments?" And his name was Bill. And I said, "The only guarantee I will make you is if we don't do anything, nobody will do anything. Period. I guarantee you
That's
that.
right.
If we don't put one episode out, then nobody's going to comment, nobody's going to watch. Let's just go for it." And the irony is
That's
our
good.
highest viewed episode was one where we were live and we didn't know it.
Yeah,
I thought
I
we were
love it.
testing the signal.
That's awesome.
And we're talking and I'm taking selfies and we're goofing. And all of a sudden somebody goes, "Hey guys." And I'm like, "Well, we're live." And you know
It's
what?
because
It
you
was our
weren't
highest-
overthinking
yeah,
it either.
yeah.
You were just
There
having
you
a good
go.
time.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's one thing about
So,
it.
so can I say this? Can I say this? And Kevin, you were going down the route that I was thinking. I was going to ask you earlier what city you were out of. Can you tell me that?
Raleigh. Yeah, Raleigh, North Carolina.
And
NC,
Derrick, what city are you out of?
Charlotte, North Carolina. NC, baby.
Charlotte.
Right.
Okay.
Representing.
And, Brant Collins is out of Arkansas. I'm in Birmingham, Alabama. And let me say this. Our relationships over the last year, not that we have to talk every day, but we're very supportive of one another across the platform and inside of our content creator community. It won't pay your bills. So I want people to hear me. It may not pay your bills, but I have spent an hour on the phone with Derrick talking about content creation and talking about life and have a friend. I can't tell you how much I talk to Brant. I could take a day off from talking to Brant. You know what I'm saying? I love him like a brother. We have a show
I go
together.
into withdrawals.
And we complement each other. And I don't think there's something I couldn't ask you guys that you wouldn't spend the time trying to help me with. But
100%.
this is just a
100%,
fraction
totally.
of our group that we are connected with. People like Alicia Way. I had a chance to talk
Alicio.
to Doc Rock just last night.
Rock.
And I'm naming names, and I shouldn't do that, but there's tons of people inside of our community that is not money. You know, I can't monetize it. But
Mhm.
man, it makes what we do so much better.
Absolutely.
Seeing people
Absolutely.
that may be 2 or 3 steps ahead that I can say, man, I like what Kevin and Derrick is doing. I want to try that too. Not in competition, but I know
Right.
if I put in the work that they're putting in, maybe I can have that success.
Hey, I use.
Just the other day,
Go ahead. Go
Brant
ahead.
was he had a short that took off on the Stream Show channel. I put 3 shorts in behind his. They got like 4 views, and he got 3,000. Was it 3,000?
Something like that. But see, I know
I love it.
he's an
It's
ex-football
competition.
player. He's a competitive, so I pushed him a little bit. Hey, real quick, I want to answer
It's
Richard's
competition.
question here. Is that the Blackmagic Extreme Pro? No, it is not. We are using Ecamm. I'm using Ecamm Live. I'm actually switching this off from my keyboard with Mac Mini M1. I could show him real quick if you guys don't mind. We'll do a little live demo mode here. Boop. And you should be seeing live demo mode.
Look at that.
So there we go.
Looking
I'm actually
good.
switching. I've got my little keyboard here with the numbers. You know, I don't have a Stream Deck here, so I just mapped the numbers 1, 2, 3,
Come
4,
on, Stream
5.
Deck. Come on, Stream Deck.
Stream
I have
Deck's
one at
great.
work, my new job. But the other thing I wanted to ask or show him, so I can pull your comment up here, Richard. Wait, you're in my area in Birmingham. You need to reach out to Strick.
what's up.
Strick can
Right?
help you
Hey,
in Birmingham.
Inbox me.
There we go.
I'd love to connect with you.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. That's
You know, I think if you ask, I know Kevin can back me up on this. When I did this in TV, everything I would have been doing here would have been what $100,000-$200,000
Oh,
Grass Valley switcher, you know,
Mhm.
3,
Yeah.
4, what maybe
Yeah.
10, 15, $20,000 studio cameras. Not to
Oh, yeah.
mention the crew, not to mention the satellite time to beam it up and beam it down, and a microwave truck to do a remote. And now you can just do it from your phone.
Yeah.
Our first, when I was in TV, our first HD, I mean, really HD camera was $50,000. And the chief
Wow.
engineer would keep it, and you'd have to go sign it out and be interrogated about what you were going to do with it. I really think he didn't want anybody to take it out, quite honestly. And, and it was just like, wow. And now, my iPhone will shoot slow-mo 4K that looks unbelievable. Oh, and I can edit.
Right.
Oh, and I can tweet at the same time, and I can do graphics, and I can call
Mhm.
home on one device that cost about $1,000.
Isn't
Wow.
that crazy?
It's ridiculous.
Wow. And you know what you forgot? You got to get some cool glasses like Kevin. See, I got
That's
my glasses
true.
today.
Oh
Just so I
yeah,
can make sure
definitely.
I had cool glasses like Kevin. Strick, where's your glasses? See, Brent's got glasses. Kevin's
I'm
got the
going.
coolest.
Listen,
So I figured I better rock some glasses when I was coming on with Kevin. I couldn't not bring them up. Look, listen, come on,
What do
come
you
on,
got?
Strick, put them in.
I had to do
Oh, you
that.
got the
This
Big
is,
Rich.
Big Rich
There
sent
you go.
these. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Now we're rocking. That's the equipment
There
you
you
really
go.
need is a cool pair of readers like Kevin.
Yeah,
Oh,
I figure I might as well go for the cool shades,
You
Hey,
got to
Richard,
do it,
I just
man.
want Richard to know I put the link
too old to
into,
care.
there's a link I just put in there. It's a bit.ly link / the stream show Ecamm. That is our free trial. So try Ecamm free. It is a Mac only product. So if you're on a Mac, try that out. And you could do that. So that'd be great. And this is, I guess that's his website, artvisions.tv for Strick. So write that down
Nice.
there, Strick. Artvisions.
Who is this again? Oh, this is okay.
Richard. He's from your area. So
That's what's up.
artvisions.tv. So write that down. So we're
Yes,
connecting
yes.
people all over the world. I did a random
All
live
over the
test the
world.
other night and ended up talking for an hour with a guy from Singapore, a guy from the Philippines, and a guy from Canada. It was amazing.
That's just isn't that cool?
It was
Yeah.
awesome. It really, really was.
That being
we do
said,
it.
hey guys, I want to be sure that as people are watching tonight, that they can connect with you guys on your channels, your website, your coaching, all that you do. So if Derrick, if you can kind of start with how people can connect with you, I appreciate it.
I appreciate that. And I'm going to do two things. Then what I'm going to say, I'm going to sign off here after this because I'm keeping my word to my spouse that I was going to cut my spouse off in an hour so I could be able to come in and hang with you guys, but I got to cut it at 8. So let me at least, it's all about keeping your word, right? Most importantly, keep your word.
It is.
But number two, my name is Derrick Floyd. I have a site called the Beautiful Now Project, and my whole reason for doing the content is to encourage and uplift and inspire people to live their best life now. And all that means is living what you're meant to do here. All of my content's encouraging, and it's all about talking to other people about what they've done. And if you go to the Beautiful Now Project at youtube.com, you'll find all my content there. There's stuff where I interview celebrities, and then just interview regular people like ourselves. And I deliver a motivational video, 2 minutes, every Monday morning at 8 o'clock from my channel. I call it the Life Hack. And it's just stuff that just you go, you know what? This is common sense stuff to make my life better. Little small life hacks to kind of keep you going. So if you love stuff like that to keep you encouraged, keep you motivated, go visit the Beautiful Now Project. I sure would appreciate seeing you. Thanks for coming and see us and seeing the stream show. And when we talked about success, the only reason I do what I do and my goal is to touch 100 lives a week with something positive. Because we always talk about the world is a mess, but we do nothing to change it. So my something is to touch 100 lives a week and change it. That's what I do. Thanks, guys.
I love
Thank
it.
you for joining,
Love
and
it.
don't miss that dinner with your wife.
Yeah, can't miss that, y'all.
There you go. Kevin, tell us a little about yourself and where we can find more about you.
So you can so on my YouTube channel is at Kevin Kolbe. I've really got two websites. The one we talked about earlier is kind of my media hub. That's kevinkolbemedia.com. And there's also a voice message feature on there. So anybody listening or watching this at any point, if you want to leave me a voice message, I'd love to hear that. Heck, I may even use it in a podcast or an episode. And then my main site is kevinkolbe.com. I do coaching. Love to help people just really kind of get into video and use it and things like that. But yeah, I mean, the community is great. And look, Derrick's stuff is so uplifting. So I do hope folks subscribe to his newsletter and check out his channel too. And you guys are just phenomenal streamers and two great dudes too.
Thank you very much. You can
sir.
see
Thanks
Derrick
for
is
saying
checked
that.
out here, but I didn't have a chance to build a screen for just 3 of us. So that's Derrick is out for now. But Kevin, thank you for joining us tonight. I think
Thanks for having me.
Talking about competition, I have vidIQ and TubeBuddy, and you could put competitors in there, and I put Strick, Kevin, and Derrick in there just to
Wow,
to
I
motivate
appreciate that.
me, because I feel like, you guys are, it's like these are kind of like my speed kind of people that I want to judge. And, I know Kevin's way out ahead of me as far as
Oh,
where your analytics and stuff are, but that's good. That's a goal that I have for myself. So I
well, I appreciate it.
I appreciate
Means
it.
a lot.
And it's not in a mean way, but Strick and me, that's more of a mean thing. I'm just super competitive. I know what motivates
Yeah,
Strick.
he's beating me right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to build some more content.
I'd love those glasses though, Strick.
Thank
They
you. I
are
had to
nice.
pull them out. Like they're sitting on a shelf. Like, why not pull out my Derrick Rose Gazelles? These are like New York glasses. Like, why not bring a little flair to the show to end it out? Thank you so very much, guys, for watching today. Even if I am on my iPhone streaming from my wife's studio, why not do this tonight? Thank you, Brant, for being the producer of the show tonight.
Oh, thank you very much. It's a little bit challenging. It's a lot more fun just to sit and talk and look at the comments when you're trying to run it all. So I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. We had some good comments. We got a new person with Richard there, and from LinkedIn, your LinkedIn account. He's there in Birmingham with you. So hopefully you guys can connect. Thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Join us every Sunday night. We made a commitment to ourselves that we're just like a news channel or a TV channel. There's always going to be a stream show every Sunday night this year. You might have a different host. We might need some guest hosts. Hint, hint, Kevin Kolbe. We might have some guest hosts to push us through the full year, but we're going to try to do 52 episodes this year. All right.
That's it.
Strick, thank you very much. And we're out.
Thank you, Brant. Have a good night, sir.